Matt, creator of Twisted Yarns. Today we're going to crochet the slanted shell baby blanket. This blanket is designed to be completed in 3 colors, so find a yummy variegated yarn and choose 2 coordinating solids. Then prepare to have some fun with the colors chasing each other up the sides of the blanket as you crochet. You'll learn how to crochet the foundation row and then the 1 row stitch pattern repeat. Then at the end I'll show you how to crochet a super easy scalloped edging. It's designed specifically to complement the slanted shells. Download the companion pattern for free by following the instructions and the link in the description below. And while you're there, please click the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications of upcoming videos. Form a slip knot and then chain 149. I like to use a removable stitch marker to mark my 50s, so I'm going to do 51. 1, 2. In the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to work 3 double crochets. Then we're going to skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th we are going to slip stitch. That tilts the double crochets over. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 in the same stitch that we worked the slip stitch. So then we're going to skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where we slip stitch. I'm going to hold that with my fingers. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then work 3 more double crochets in that very same stitch. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to continue all the way across our chain. We're going to skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch. We've just finished our last 3 double crochets, and I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the very last stitch or chain I am going to work a slip stitch to tie down that shell, that slanted shell. Now with my new color I am going to pick up, and that's my variegated, is my next color. We're rotating rose, variegated, and then cream. I'm holding the end to the back, and with both strands, with the old color and the new color, I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to drop off my old color, which is the rose, and I'm going to continue with the variegated. And you can see this is the variegated strand. It's starting to change color on us. Okay, and I'm going to turn my work. These ends will get woven in later, no issue, but I'm going to continue with the variegated, and at the base of that chain up I'm going to work 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. You see that? Now I'm going to skip 3 double crochets, and I'm going to find that chain 3 space, the space that was formed by the chain 3, and I'm going to insert my hook in it, pull up a loop, and complete a slip stitch. Then I'm going to chain 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And in that very same space, I'm going to do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Skip 3, and then into the next space formed by the chain 3 on the other one, I'm going to do a slip stitch. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 more double crochets. Now this is what you're going to do all the way across the row. And when you get to the end, I'll join you again. Skip 3. 1, 2, 3, and then into this one. We are at the end of the row, and I've just finished my 3 double crochets, and I'm going over to the chain 3 loop, and I'm slip stitching in it. Now I'm going to change my colors again, but I'm going to add my third color on, which is cream, and I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop the variegated and continue on with just the soft white. And we'll weave that end in later, but I'm going to go back into that last slip stitch, and I'm going to work 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now the next thing we're going to do is go to that chain 3 space that was formed and insert our hook and slip stitch. So we're at the end of our third row, and we're going to finish the 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch into that stitch right there. That's the last of the double chains. We're going to slip stitch into it to finish this round, and notice our next color is waiting for us right here. So we're going to pick up both strands of yarn, the old, which is the cream, and the pink, which is the rose, which is the new color, and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop off the cream because that's our old color, and turn our work and continue and do the exact same row that we just finished. Go right into that base where the slip stitch is, and continue on by putting 3 double crochets in there. 1, this is the second one, here's the third one, jump over to the space and do a slip stitch, chain 3, and continue on working 3 double crochets. Now this is the charm of using 3 colors. I call that chasing colors because you start with one color and you work one row. Then you pick up the second color and come back. Then you do another row in the third color, each time dropping off the yarn. But by doing it that way, when you get to the other end of this row, the next color will be variegated. It's sitting there waiting for you to come get it. So you have very few ends to weave in, just the ones at the beginning, the 3, 2 on this end and 1 on this end, and then you'll always have the next color waiting. You don't even have to worry about picking up the wrong color. Continue to repeat this pattern, the pink, the variegated, then the white. When the variegated runs out, you're done. That's when the afghan is, you finish it off. You finish it off with the rose row. That's why the variegated is the second color. Because when that runs out, if you get halfway across the row and you run out of yarn, you can just pull that out, and then the last rose row is the one that is the ending row. Don't cut the yarn, catch up with me and I'll show you how to edge it. We are at the end of our last row, and we're going to put our slip stitch in that very last stitch and complete the row. Now we are going to actually turn this work, moving the right hand side to the left, and what that does is it puts the yarn behind the stitch. Well, first we're going to chain one, and then we're going to skip that stitch, the slip stitch, skip the double crochet, and in this center double crochet you're going to work one single crochet, and we're going to work one single crochet in the next double crochet. Now we're to our chain 3 loop. In this particular space we're going to work one single crochet, chain 1, and 2 more single crochets. So that makes a little peak. It's not even because there's 3 single crochets along here and before the chain 1 at the corner, and then 2 along this side. So let's do that again. We're going to skip the slip stitch. We're going to skip the first double crochet, and in the second double crochet we're going to work a single crochet, another single crochet in the next double crochet, and a single crochet in the space. Chain 1 and 2 more single crochets in that same space. Skip, skip, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet in that space, chain 1, that turns the point on this here, and then 2 more single crochets in that very same space. So we skip this. So isn't that a nice little finished edge? It really looks very, very appropriate. Now we're going to work all the way along this edge to our next corner, and then we're going to come down and work along this side too. But that's, each side is treated a little bit differently. So we'll work on this. I'll meet up with you when we get over here. So we're at the end, and we're going into this end piece, and we're going to be transitioning. So we're going to do the skip, skip, and work a single crochet in the center double crochet of the 3 double crochets. Then we're going to do another single crochet in the next double crochet, and if you notice, this is our doubled stranded chain up at the end, at the turning side. So we're going to treat this a little bit differently. First off, we're going to do one more single crochet into that loop in our chain 1. That concludes this half over here, and now we're going to turn our work, but since we already have one single crochet in there, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochets to start, because now we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets in that end loop. Then we're going to skip over this little loop here, and we're going to jump into the next doubled chain up, and we're going to work 5 single crochets into that space. Now, if you notice, what happens is it makes like a little scallop, and it covers up the chain up with the 2 different colors of yarn where we changed our colors. And we're going to work along this whole side just like that. We have just completed this side by placing the last 5 single crochets in the last space formed by the double stranded chain up. Okay, so now this is actually the very first row of the afghan, and we're going to work this a little bit differently because it can present itself in 2 different ways. The first way is what we're seeing right here, where the chain 3 space is presenting itself first before the place where we put the 3 double crochets before. So how we're going to treat this is we're going to work 2 single crochets into that chain 3 space, chain 1, and then 1 more single crochet into that same space. The chain 1 forms the little peak at the top of what you're going to see is a little triangle. Then we're going to place 1 single crochet into that loop into the loop or the space where the 3 double crochets were placed on the very first row. Then we are going to look above and go up into the space where the 3 double crochets on the second row were placed, and we're going to do a tight single crochet. What that does is it completes our little side, and it closes it up, it neatens up these little spaces, because you have 3 double crochets going into 1 chain, and it's going to get, this looks a little stretched. But this is how you neaten it up. So now, go into the next space, the next chain 3 space as it presents you. 1, 2, chain 1, a 3rd single crochet into that space. Then we're going to jump over to this space where the 3 double crochets are coming out of it, see it? And we're going to work 1 more single crochet, and then in the space where the 3 double crochets of the second row are placed, we're going to jump up and do a tight single crochet. Now we're in the very last part, so we're going to work 2 single crochets, chain 1, and then another single crochet, and we're going to place 1 more single crochet in that corner because that's where those 3 double crochets came from. And now we're going to place the first we're going to place the next single crochet into the space formed by the chain up. Alternatively, if the edge presents itself with the loop with the 3 double crochets first, then simply reverse the shaping. Start with 1 single crochet in the loop, 1 single crochet, chain 1 and 2 single crochets in the space, and 1 single crochet in the space in row 2 that has the 3 double crochets. Then repeat. It finished this side and turned the corner. So now we're just going to work 4 more single crochets in that same turning chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here's our 5th, because we had 1 that finished off this side and then 4 more. Okay, now in the next chain up, that one has 2 colors, so we're going to put 5 in there, just like we did on the other selvage edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to continue up this row just like we did the other side, with 5 in each one of the double stranded chain up. Last double loop, 1, and work 5 single crochets in it. That's 3, 4, and 5, and then slip stitch to join the round. And you're slip stitching in the very first single crochet. Cut your yarn and weave your end in. Isn't that just the most adorable edging? And it's so professionally finished. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell to receive future notifications of upcoming videos. Happy crocheting!